I know it's his birthday. The thing about him is he's ageless. I mean, nobody really knows how old he is. Some people think that, he's from the 18th century. How old is he? Is he going to be... Do we know how old he is?
What's his name? Aaron? Aaron? Heron? Like the bird? Heron?
Let's see. Was he 30? Nobody seems to really know. What is he, 28, 25? I mean, I don't know. Is he 50?
Oh, errand with a D? Errand. Got it. Like running an errand?
There was a time where he only came out at night, and of course the rumors abounded that, vampire. But, we know that wasn't true because we usually would play till the early morning hours, and he'd walk out in the sunlight like the rest of us.
Aaron, I managed his band for several years. I helped get his career off the ground. He was an odd little man. He was a likable enough chap. He did have a weakness for rather large bosomed and Brazilian fixed up buttocks of ladies.
Oh, no D? Aaron. You're saying Aaron. Got it. Aaron.
Well, he's Aaron Lee is he's just one of those gifted people that so multi-dimensional,
He was a real average musician. People liked him because a lot of people now have very average tastes.
He was just hard to be around. The rest of the band just felt like, he's the drummer, he's the driving force, he's like he's the wind beneath our wings,
Aaron would show up at band practice just wasted.
From Boone's Farm to Bush Mills, and it went up to Cabernet Sauvignon, Thunderbird wine.
I'm sorry? Oh, I'm still saying it wrong. Oh, no D? No D on errand? Heron. Like the bird. Okay. Heron was a great guy. I'll never forget the time that, what was it? What did he do?
There's a lot of people just don't want to talk about it. Nobody in the band wants to talk about it anymore. Certainly none of the management does.
He overestimated his musical talent overall. I manage the big guys, but once in a while I do a charity case. So Aaron was a charity case. It was odd because he kept bragging about his tremendous fan club. And I found out that his fan club is in North Platte, Nebraska. Wherever you can develop a fan club is just really great. North Platte, But to Aaron, it was good stuff.
The trail that he left behind him, you can still see it today.
I remember one time we were in the studio and the White Stripes incident. Let me tell you, before Meg White, it was Errand.
I remember the time when we were laying down some tracks at Ghetto Recorders, and he was talking to Jack White, and Jack stormed out of the room.
Well, Errand believed in taking naps while playing.
That's when he started going to sleep. When he was drumming sometimes.
It was just hard to be around somebody who was that brilliant all the time.
It just kind of helped get the music into a groove somehow for him. And
the problem was that, whenever he got a big beat going behind the drums, he'd fall asleep, Right in the middle of the jam session, he'd be, boom, asleep. And, naturally a lot of people in the band had a problem with that.
But people thought it was part of the act. They thought it was some insightful, creative activity.
I didn't really care because it gave me an opportunity to catch up on some paperwork.
The thing about Heron that I remember that I loved so much is that he always had this dream to be a hip-hop producer, a trip-hop maker, a Mexican guitarron. He enjoyed playing the timbales. He was a master of the lute. A Japanese folk band master.
Before his career launched, the Japanese loved him. He's a really tall guy over there. He liked the little people, he liked to pat them on the head when he'd come into the country, and they appreciated that, And then he got a dog.
The little people really liked him. They thought he was really a giant.
Some people were offended by that. That's just because they didn't understand, about the genius behind the guy, He actually would carry a drill around, and once in a while, when it would come loose, the plate in the top of his head.
He called it getting drilled, really. And this term started as funny story, really.
He had this odd thing in the top of his head, and you'd actually have to get the drill out and drill down in his head, And, he used to use that expression, I can't wait to get drilled.
Of course, when he talked about getting drilled, I thought I knew exactly what he was talking about. Obviously, I did not. Some sucker would come up and drill him in the head because he got a plate on there. This guy was getting way too weird.
It's just weird. It was weird.
You rarely have the opportunity of someone being very average, very nondescript, but somehow through force of will and blind-ass luck being actually able to make you some money. You know, you fake it till you make it, and you make it, and some guys keep faking it, and he was very successful at it, and I have to give him credit for that.
Heron, like the bird.